before we start, just make sure phones are on silent as well, please. Again, got any more instances of phones ringing?
Joe, what you meant, you've got to deal with that a bit all day for season swing, so do you sort of think yourself that you've only got 6 of them out, or is that quite well?
No, I think it's an even day overall. I think when you do win the toss and you go out there and have a bowl, I suppose there's always that added pressure as a bowler to roll them and skill them early. But credit to India, I actually thought they played pretty well, and the ball moving around pretty much all day. There was probably a period through the middle of the day where it didn't do quite as much when the sun was out. And like I said, they capitalised on that. So yeah, there's always that little bit of added pressure to try and skill them, but I think we bowl reasonably well, and they combated it pretty well as well.
I was going to say, do you think you did much wrong, or you just did those hands?
Yeah, no, exactly that. I don't think through that middle period we struggled to create a chance. I thought they played pretty well through that period. We tried a few different things. I felt that we held our lengths pretty well. But yeah, I mean, Test cricket, I think when you come off the back of a game where it's all happened very quickly, it's almost like sometimes you expect things to happen, but it's 5 days for a reason, and sometimes you have to sit and be patient. I thought we did that pretty well.
Adam's got a bit around now twice in the series, but you know what to do now, and give out the raw.
Yeah, well, if you could do that when he's on Nor, that'd be nice. But no, I mean, Virat's a world-class player, so that meant to be last week. To get him out at any point in the game is important, because obviously if he can go on and score big scores, he can go on and get doubles. So that's a big wicket for us to then get another tonight was important.
So obviously you're getting cricket for lunch on your own, so it's a fabulous first session for you.
The first session was good. Obviously we didn't get early wickets, which as I mentioned just before, is when the series has gone the way it has and there's been wickets tumbling quite quickly, you expect things to happen. So it was good to when I come on, I felt like the ball actually started swinging once I got the ball in the hand. I think after about 15 overs, and the lack had come off it, started moving a little bit more in the air, and thankfully got the ball in the right areas and got a couple of quick wickets. I think the wickets leading to lunch were important. It'd have been nice to have obviously come out after lunch and picked up a couple of ones, but as I said, they played well through that period.
Steph?
Did you see any difference in Ben today, or was he the same as yours?
I think he's the same as he always is. Obviously desperate to do well, desperate to perform for England, as he always is. He's been great around the group. He's trained as hard as he ever does. He's one of the hardest trainers in the team. And today probably didn't go as well as I'd like to have done. It'd been nice for him to pick up a couple of wickets, but that's the game. No real difference in it.
Jonathan?
What's the plan to Pant? Because it is obviously one of those players that can take the game away in a session.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say too much. He's obviously still in and we want to get him out, so he might be watching. But he's a good player. He's an extremely good white ball player. We've obviously seen a lot of him with the white ball. Haven't seen a huge amount of him with red ball. I actually played in the Lions game when we played against him. He lined it up nicely. He actually, in his white ball stuff, he obviously comes out and plays his shots from ball one, as we saw to that deal today. But I suppose in English conditions, we like to think if you put more in the right areas enough, we might be able to find his edge.
Well, Chris?
Has it been a strange week in with Ben coming back and you're in that sort of all-rounders and bowlers slot, and Sam's been dropped after 2 matches after being around the match, you were around the match last week. You sort of feel like you need to put in these heroic performances every time to keep your place?
No, not really. I think there's always pressure on you to perform whenever you put the England shirt on. So there's always people knocking on the door. I suppose it is unfortunate for Sam to have missed out, but when someone like Ben comes back, he's a world-class all-rounder and performed for the team for such a long period of time. You can understand that decision, and I'm sure Sam will play a part in the series going forward. But I don't feel the pressure to feel like I need to be man of the match every game to try and keep my place. I just try and do my job, try and put the ball in the right areas, try and pick up wickets, and hopefully score runs when I get the opportunity as well.
Chris?
Chris, you said probably disappointed you didn't get a couple of wickets, but I guess it's typical of him that he was going to end up taking cash to get that big wicket coming.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose he's a big game player, Ben. He's always, as I said, he's worked extremely hard since he come back to the group, as he always does. And catching is part of the way he trains hard. He's constantly out there trying to catch balls. And you know, first slips particularly to the spinner can be in a poor position. He took that catch and made it quite easily, even though it went quite quick. So yeah, big wicket.
Take a couple more, John, at the back.
What did the Indians do differently since the first two tests, and maybe something on Rahane, like he came up with a much better performance. What was he doing differently?
I mean, these guys they're world class players. I know they're in different conditions. You try and adapt to whatever conditions you're in, but I think with the ball moving around, even the ball moving around today, I thought they left the ball a little bit better potentially. It made us go to them a little bit more. Naturally, Indian players are good off their legs and good off their stumps most of the time. And yeah, I felt that they probably left the ball a little bit better than they have done. And as I said, I think it did a little bit less through that middle period, and they capitalised on that. That's what you have to do. When the ball's doing a little bit less, that's when you can start scoring.
Finish with John.
I was wondering what happened to Stuart. He got stung by a wasp, is that right?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't spoken to him about it, but I saw the replay on the thing. He was unfortunate to get a wasp in his mouth, so it's not the ideal situation.
No, I mean,
No, but I think it's alright. He's fine.
you didn't try and talk him.
No, thank you.
Thank you.